Amnesia: The Dark Descent, a game that needs no introduction. The game that took over the Let's Play genre and provided countless hours of entertainment in between custom stories, expansions, and sequels. So when Amnesia: The Bunker released, you know I went to my local Walgreens to buy a $20 Steam gift card to buy it. I then enjoyed it and just pushed aside this video for a whole 5 months or more, I'm not even sure. But that doesn't matter anymore, because I'm doing it now, you know? So without further ado, let's get right into Amnesia: The Bunker. Amnesia: The Bunker starts with a quote. To survive this war, you'll need two things. First, a basic set of skills. Second, the good goddamn sense to do whatever's necessary. I can teach you the first. The second is up to you. This quote is really useful. This game is all about improvisation, baby. Many of the items in this game are randomized, and there are many ways to tackle obstacles and get to your objective. As we walk through the trenches, we can see mangled bodies of dead soldiers lying there in the mud, and we find some rounds for a revolver. In case you weren't aware of this, there's an actual shootout in this game. Groovy. Using your weapons in this game, as you can imagine, this being an Amnesia game, is really clunky. Although not really that bad for me, since I used to play Hunt Showdown on console back when it ran on 20 FPS. I can see the average person taking a little bit to get used to it. You have to reload manually all of your guns. And if you're not paying proper attention, this can lead to some really bad situations. Our friend Lambert actually comes over and tells us that we're clear. It's here when we get introduced to the crafting system in the game. It's not that complex, but it doesn't have to be. You can combine different things, like for example 2 rags to make a medkit, or maybe you can combine a rag and a stick to make a torch. We heal up, we blow open a door, and then we get caught up in some gas grenades. And just as we think that it's over, Lambert saves us and gives us a gas mask.
Make it out of this hell together. Beat that roll, my friend.
There you have it, huh?
Fate's a bastard. I'm on patrol tonight then. C'est la vie.
Now we're looking for Lambert, and we find him in a hole, severely injured, about to die. We then give him some water from a puddle right next to him. And keep this in mind, because this is no ordinary water, my friend.
Gay people, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Some Germans spot us as we're carrying Lambert, and some artillery blows up right next to us, causing us to pass out. And this is the moment where the game starts to get really interesting. As you now get the quote, you are on your own. Learn, adapt, experiment, and survive. You wake up in a dirty bunker, devoid of any life, barely even able to stand up. And with, you guessed it, amnesia. It's here that we find our flashlight. The original Amnesia had an oil lamp which you had to find oil for, but this time you have basically unlimited flashlight with one catch. You have to pull the string to power it on, making a lot of noise that can attract some unwanted visitors. This is a really cool mechanic that synergizes really well with another one, that being the generator, which I will explain in a little bit.
Thought I was the last one.
Turns out we're not the last humans in here. There's an injured soldier smoking a cigarette. Now I wonder what could have injured him. He tells us that the rat-fucking officers trapped him in there by blowing out the exit. We have to find the dynamite in the arsenal and a handle in the excavation site in order to blow it open. The soldier hands us a revolver so that we can kill him before whatever's making that noise does. But before we can get to him, the beast gives him a free hug. Ain't that swell? Shortly after this, we find a locked door and we shoot the lock open. And this is where we find our safe haven. There's a lamp in here that you can turn on and off to save your game. There's a storage box similar to Resident Evil. And there's some stairs leading to the generator. You have to find fuel cans around the bunker to power up the generator. You can explore the bunker without the generator on, but this will attract more the beast, and you'll also be making more noise turning on the flashlight since you can't really see anything. So it basically just makes the whole process of getting out of the bunker much more harder. And even though the items are randomized, you will never run into an instance where you run out of fuel if you properly use the fuel and don't overuse it. You can also find a stopwatch that can help you determine when the generator is gonna turn off. I actually didn't use this. I took the risk of not knowing when the generator was gonna be turned off, but in return I had an extra inventory slot. After getting to know our safe haven, we find a rusted valve that can help us lift the emergency lockdown. But it unfortunately breaks, to be expected. But as the valve breaks, you can hear artillery hitting the ground above you, reminding you that if you leave this bunker, you'll just step into another hell. Right in front of this valve, there's a closed room, but there is a grate right next to it that's been opened, so you go into the vent and you get into the locker room. Now, in here you can find the locker of your comrades. All the items inside of these lockers are actually randomized. To find the 4-digit codes, you just have to find the bodies of your dead comrades and grab their dog tags. Inside one of the lockers, we can see a brand new valve. So now we have a new objective, and we head deeper into the bunker to find the dog tag. We keep going deeper into the bunker to find our friend's dead body, and we find one of these bad boys. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have any footage of this, but during my first ever playthrough of this game, I died so many times because of this one single tripwire grenade trap. Like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but I kept running back there because I thought there was an item there or something, thinking I had enough time to run in there and run back, but when clearly I didn't because I died like 5 times in a row. Oh, and there's not only just grenade tripwires, they come in all shapes and sizes too. We've got gas grenade tripwires, we've got flare tripwires, we've got door tripwires. But despite all of the pain this has cost me, it's still a really cool mechanic. And you wanna know why? Because this keeps you even more on your toes, because even though there's a monster chasing you, you can also be blown to bits if you're not careful. After going through all of this, you're probably gonna encounter the beast or the stalker for the first time. The design of this creature is really interesting because you can see bayonets stuck inside of the monster. You can see that it sustained a lot of damage. And you can tell that it was once human because it has some thorn clothing and it has some basic human characteristics like normal human teeth on one side of its face and then monstrous teeth on the other one. Just the sounds that this monster makes when it's coming after you or when it's coming out of a hole, it's all really amazing. They did a fantastic job with this monster. After a while you'll find the room that you need to go into to get the dog tag, but it's locked, so you have to go in through other means. And after opening the locker, we lift the emergency lockdown. Now we have to get to the pillbox, and on our way there we find this little tunnel right here full of dead bodies and rats. Now rats in this game, what they do is that they eat the dead bodies inside of the bunker, and if you get too close, they attack you. If you are really like heavily damaged, they will follow you around and hit you, and they will attract the beast. Now there are numerous ways to get rid of these rats. You can use torches, you can use flares, or you can use some rotten meat to attract some of them. But in this case, it's better to just use a torch to just make them go away, because you have to get through this tunnel and then leave through the tunnel again. So if you use any of the other methods, yeah, it'll be back and you will get damaged. And after getting through the tunnel, there are 2 ways to get into the pillbox. You can either blow open 2 doors and go up the ladder, or you can go into the beast's nest, retrieve the key, and get up there. And once you get up there, you will see this little event. This event is really amazing because it shows you that even if you do get out of here, you still have to fight a war if you do. I mean, you're inches away from freedom, you can see the outside world, but you can't do anything about it. And when we check the body of our comrade to get the dog tag, to get the wrench, we see that he didn't even get killed by the monster. It was just a normal war casualty. He got shot through the eye. And after getting the dog tag, we open the locker and we gain the wrench. This allows us to go into the prison to get the bolt cutters. Now, to get the bolt cutters, you need the generator to be on, and then you have to go into the prison, open the grate, and open a certain jail cell. This jail cell contains a German soldier, a prisoner of war, Now you have two options. You can either open it, run there, get the bolt cutters, and get out while the monster is distracted killing him, or you can grab it, run back into the control panel, then close it, saving the prisoner, but drawing the attention of the monster to you. Now, in all my playthroughs, I always save the prisoner, but if you really think about it, he's gonna die either way. He's either gonna be stuck in here, he's just gonna die of starvation and malnutrition, and he's gonna die a slow, painful death, or he's gonna die somewhat quickly, but really, really terribly at the hands of the beast. So either way, there's no saving him. So now that you have the bolt cutters, you can go into the arsenal. And in here you'll find some tripwire traps that you can deactivate with the bolt cutter. So it's no big deal. And after turning on a generator and flushing out some water in a room, we go into my favorite part of this game, the excavation site. So right off the bat, when entering the tunnels, you can see a save point lantern, which that already gives me bad vibes. And you can find a note about some Roman tunnels. And right next to it, a couple of eyes. And they're physics objects too, so you can pick them up and throw them or do whatever you want to do with them. But as we go in, we can see some glowing floating rocks vibrating, and then we hear this. We can hear an unknown man singing, and as we get closer, poor little guy. This is Toussaint. Remember those eyes you found in the save lantern? Yeah, those were his. He poked them out, but he's got a shotgun. And he can still hear really well, so you have to be careful. This encounter is fantastic. It builds up tension because you also can't see really well because of the mist. And while in the fight, you can see people walking in the fog, and you can also see ghouls from Amnesia Rebirth. Now, if you use a gas mask, you don't see them, but obviously because you have the gas mask on, you can see as well. During this fight, you can hear Toussaint singing and rambling, and just shooting rats he can hear in the fog. Now, thankfully, I had my trusty shotgun that I found in a locker, so we can dispose of him fairly quickly. So after taking care of our little friend over here, we can actually blow open the door and then grab the handle. But what's this? A hidden tunnel? So this tunnel actually leads us to the hole where we found Lambert, and we can find a stuffed bunny that he was gonna give to his son after leaving the war. You can actually use this doll to distract the beast, something I tried to use and failed miserably at. Now, surprisingly, the dynamite is really nearby the handle. You just gotta go all the way back into the entrance of the arsenal. Then you gotta move over a little bit to the left, open a gate, and that's it. Now you're ready to get the hell out of here. So now we set up the dynamite, we set up the handle, and we blow open the exit. And now comes the final part of this game, which is actually really quick and simple, but it's also really cool. So as you drop down to the tunnels, you can hear the beast lurking around, following you, hunting you down. And then you reach the center of the Roman tunnels, and the beast is right there with you. Now there are some little bridges that you can take down using some levers which allow you to move around. Now there are multiple ways you can do this. You can distract the beast using the bunny and then blow up the bridge under them, or just shoot it with a shotgun and it will drop down to its presumed death. Or you can just leave. Now the ending is not that different depending on what you do. If you do manage to kill the beast, you just get out last second as the whole thing is collapsing. You fall into a pit full of bodies, and then some German soldiers are nearby looking for you. Now, if you don't kill the beast, the same thing happens, but when you're falling into the pit, you can see that the beast has escaped. After that, you get some stats from your playthrough, and that's pretty much it. So what the hell happened in Amnesia the Bunker? So you remember that mysterious water you gave Lambert? Well, that water was Vitae. Well, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it basically is a substance created from pure horror and suffering. He consumed this, and he became the beast. That's why he can get distracted by the bunny, because he has still some emotions. It looks like there's still some humanity left in him. You gained amnesia from when the artillery hit you, and while you were knocked out, Lambert killed everyone in the bunker, except for the prisoner and the soldier in the beginning. And now we are nearing the end of this video. I know it just ended kind of abruptly, but honestly, I didn't know how to end it. I really feel like you should really give Amnesia the Bunker a try for yourself, because neither this video or any other will ever make justice to it, and I do believe that the more playthroughs you do of this game, the more you discover about the game and the more interesting it is. It's definitely a game that requires a lot of playthroughs. It's really short, but you're not meant to beat it once. You're meant to beat it multiple times, doing different things. So yeah, thanks for watching and sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video, good looking people. Bye bye.